Okay. So I would like to start this class by just telling you a little bit about this training competition that you might have seen. We're starting like until the end of 2021. This will be like a trading competition across the entire crypto garden, and anyone can take part. And like we just decided to set up a few roles so it's fair for everyone, and like it's actually a trading competition, right? So first, the competition ends in New Year UTC. Okay, so all positions must be closed at like midnight January 1st UTC. Okay. You cannot use leverage or trade futures. You should like trade on spot only, and you cannot use those leverage tokens or like short tokens that some exchanges have. All right. Any style of trading or investing is allowed. Like you can do day trades, you can do swing trades, you can do like just a position trades and buy and hold. And all that matters is the money that you have on your account at the end of the year. Okay. Now, all moves that you make must be public, and you must publish them before you make them. All right. So like if you like do a trade and you only post about it after the trade is complete, then it's against the rules. All right. The starting account balance should be exactly $250. Like maybe a couple of dollars more, like $1 above, $1 below for gas fees and that stuff. And you cannot add more money to the account in the middle of it. Okay. All the money that is in the accounts, and this is kind of the prize, right? Besides being the best trader in the garden, the prize is that the winner, the one with the most money on their account at the end of the year, chooses like a charity that everyone's accounts of $250 at the end, like if let's say everyone together has like maybe $1,000, then the winner chooses where those $1,000 go. Okay. And it must be a charity, but it doesn't have to be a company. So you could tip a waitress, you just have to pay it forward. Okay. And in seventh, just don't use trading bots. Okay, this is like a human trading competition, not a bot trading competition. And one thing that I wanted to discuss, and we can talk a little bit about this if you want, is to not allow like yield farming. So staking your coin somewhere or something like that, because that can be really hard to track, right? Okay, cool. Now,
I have a quick question about the rules.
Yeah.
As far as number 6 goes, it looks like we're all making a $250 donation in the end. So is the money in the account, is it everything, or is it profits past 250?
Yeah, it's like the entire money that like if you create a separate account. So let's say you have like 250, and at the end of the competition you have like 350 or something like that, then those entire 350 go to the charity. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. And like if you have any suggestions or rules, anything that's not clear that you'd like to be cleared before we start getting into it a little bit more. Okay, no questions. So then to track this competition, me and Josh, we have made this like very comprehensive spreadsheet to like track everything that we can. So it's a fair competition and everything is like accurately tracked for everyone to see. So I'm going to post this link in the Crypto Garden afterwards. And when you click into it, it should appear something like this. Then you can log into your Google account right here. And to make your own copy, you can just click here on File. On your Google, it should be File. And then there's Make a Copy. Okay, so you just click here, make a copy, and then you just like give it a name. So for example, I'm gonna name it Tchello. Okay, so you just click OK, and it should open a new tab on your browser with an exact copy of this spreadsheet. And just let's just let it load. The first time it takes a few seconds, but from then onwards, it's a lot faster. Okay. I actually made a lot of decisions to make this like a fast spreadsheet to load. Sometimes these spreadsheets can take like multiple minutes to load, and this loads very quickly. Okay, so it has 3 pages. You can see it down here at the bottom. It has the dashboard, which shows you like on your hold bag, it shows you the distribution, your trading P&L across time, and your equity curve for trading. Okay, and here you can input like any principles or strategy or rules that you want to just remember and have it just in a like nice place for you to always see. And it's not currently on full screen, so I can see the chat, but if it's on full screen on your computer, it should also see this part right here where you can set everything up. So all the cells that have this like light green shading, you have to fill by yourself. And all the other cells, the spreadsheet, like it calculates for you. So for example, we, by the rules, like our initial capital should be $250, right? But you can split it into like holding accounts and trading accounts any way you'd like. So for example, let's say I want to have 70% of my capital for holding and 30% of my capital for trading. Then it does all the maths for that. Okay. And just works it all out for you. Okay. So now the main part of the spreadsheet is this tab right here, the trades and data tab. All right. And it has 2 main sections. There's this hold bag section right here, which I've already filled with a lot of examples for it to be easier for you to see how it works if you need any reference later. And if you scroll to the right, there's also the statistics on your hold bag, and there's the trading bag. Okay, so first, let's start a little bit talking a little bit about the hold bag. All right, so the hold bag, it supports up to 5 coins. It tracks like the live prices 24/7. It pulls the prices right off of CoinMarketCap. So you just have to fill, as you can see, the coin names, and down here you just have to paste the CoinMarketCap links. So let's say instead of BTC, let's say instead of tracking the price of BTC, I want to track the price for Phantom. So I put in here Phantom FTM, then I go to CoinMarketCap. And since I looked at this currency a little bit of times, it's a really, really bad coin, so don't buy it. I was just looking it up. I go to Phantom, and you can just like copy the link right here, right? You copy the link, then you go to the spreadsheet, and then you paste it right here on the Phantom like cell. So I just paste it right here. And as you can see, it updates the price to $3.06, which is like, it has a little bit of the delay, but it's relatively quick. Okay. Now, every time that I make a buy, so for example, let's say this was BTC previously, so it's now deleted the live price. So let's say I bought like Phantom. So I type here FTM, right, on the coin like column. I type the entry price. So let's say I entered Phantom at $2.52, something like that. And I entered it with $12. Then I can input the entry date right here. I just double click the cell and it shows up this little calendar for you to select the date. And let's say I exited it. So I sold this little part. So I can just input the exit date. And as soon as I do that, say that I just sold it yesterday. So I input here like the 25th of October. So I just click here. And as you can see, this appears, input sell price. So when this appears, you just write for how much you sold. So let's say I sold it for $3. And then it just updates it. Okay. So this is the hold part. Now, on the right here, it will tell you the realized value. Sorry, I didn't copy this formula. Let me just fix this really quick. done. So this is how much money you realized from this point right here. So this is like unrealized profits, right? And this is the realized profits. Okay. Now the like hold statistics. So it shows you how much hold capital you have, right? And this only considers the realized profits. It shows you the percentage of realized profits. So in this case, in this little example right here, it's 1.54%. It shows you how much like of the holding capital you designated on the dashboard tab right here, the 70%, how much of it you're using it and how much is left. And it also shows you all the unrealized profit and loss and the percentage of unrealized profit and loss. Okay. Then if you want to do like a DCA strategy, it also has a calculator for that too. So here you input how much percent of each coin you want to have. So let's say I want to have like 30% Phantom, but 10% ETH. And you can see if the sum here is over 100% or under 100%, it goes red, just to tell you, well, you've done something wrong. The allocations are not like summing up to 100%, and it should, okay? And then you can just like, let's say you want to buy it weekly or daily, you can edit this, but let's say you want to buy like 33% of your total capital every, and yeah, sorry, Leah just brought this to my attention. DCA is dollar cost averaging. So you're like buying at a fixed period, like a sum of money, just so you don't buy like all of the money at once and you buy at the top. So for example, let's just bring up the Bitcoin chart right here. No, actually the Bitcoin chart has a lot of drawings in it. So let me just grab a very clean chart. So the CME Bitcoin chart. Okay, that's cool. So instead of buying, for example, your entire money right here, like, let's say if you were to buy it all at once, you might have bought here, right? So instead of buying all at once right here, what you do, and sorry, yeah, what you do is you buy a little bit every now and then. You can do it weekly, you can do it with no fixed period, but instead of buying like everything at once, and just let me find the, where is the brush tool? Yeah, right here. So instead of buying everything right here, you buy maybe a little bit right here, then you buy a little bit right here, then you buy a little bit right here, then right here. So your average price is somewhere around here, right? Because you bought a little bit around here and a little bit around here. So as you can see, this can be a better strategy if you're like doing a hold style like strategy. Now, of course, this is not like mandatory, and you can do whatever you want. And this is just like a calculator to make your life easier. So let's say you want to buy 33% of your like total capital you've designated for holding each week or each day or every 3 days. Then this right here, it calculates for you how much, how many dollars you need to buy at each time. So like on this distribution right here, which you can customize, again, the like light green cells, they are the ones that you should input yourself. And down here, it calculates for you the current cost basis. So for example, for Phantom, since we sold it all, right? The only entry we had, we sold. It doesn't show the cost basis because it's dividing by 0. But for all the other ones, and it doesn't matter if it's one buy or multiple buys, it like weighs it all, and it just tells you the current cost basis for each one of these 5 coins. So first, let me say why I just inputted like 5 coins. And the reason is pretty simple. As I said, I don't want this spreadsheet to be slow. And since it has both trading and holding, it like more than 5 coins starts to get a bit laggy and it starts to have issues. So I'm also making actually a more advanced holder spreadsheet that supports up to 10 coins with live prices, as you can see right here. And it does a lot more complicated math. So for example, this holder spreadsheet, it shows you like how to rebalance your portfolio. But since it's not done yet, I'm not like gonna go too much in depth about it, just like telling you a little bit about it to get you excited, okay? Okay, so right here, as you can see also, the color of the percentage profit and loss, it gets like darker or lighter if the profit is higher or lower. And this is like pretty nice, I think, to just like tell you what were the coins that performed the best and what were the ones that performed the worst. Okay, cool. Now let's get to the trading part, which is the most interesting, and like I put a little bit more work into this. So right here, I have a bunch of example trades, right? And you need to input, for example, the entry date. So let's say I entered the trade the 20th of October, and well, I've not exited yet, so I can input an exit date. And let's say the price, the pair was Bitcoin US dollar. Okay, and let's say I entered it at $64,000, and I entered it, and actually let's save the entry amount for later. And for some reason, I don't think my camera is showing up. I don't know why. Huh. Oops. Yeah, I think like my phone just ran out of battery. So I don't know if you guys want to see the Ryan background right here, but I'm just gonna.
We can still see your screen.
Yeah, you can see my screen, but not my webcam, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You can just keep going. It's all good.
Okay,
So.
I'll keep going. So let's leave the entry amount for later, okay? And now let's say I'm actually trading, so I need to have a target and a stop loss, correct? So let's say my stop loss is at $60,000, and that my target for Bitcoin is at $68,000, something like that. Then I've actually made this position size calculator, and it takes the last entry price that you input and the last stop loss that you input, and it suggests to you a position size. So you can like configure a maximum trade size, like how much of your account it should have like at most, which is in this case, I put 40%. Yeah, and the maximum risk for trade. So in this case, the maximum risk is 4%. So if it has a stop loss, then I only lose 4% of my account. And you can change it. You can change this number, like for example, to 2%, and you can see the position size decreases, right? So you take this position size and you can just put it here. So it was like 25, 25, and you can see, well, if I just click right here, you have pending, bought, canceled, target hit, and stop loss. So if it goes to stop loss, then all I lose is 2% of my account, which is in this case, of my trading account, which is in this case, $1.58. And it calculates again, everything for you. Like all you have to do is like a few clicks. But if it hits the target, then I gain, in this case, $1.58 also, because the distance is the same. So let's say the target is 69,420. And in this case, it is $2.14, okay? And yeah, this like risk calculator, you can also input like a custom entry price if you're just thinking if a trade might be worth to take it or not. You can just input your own custom price right here. It doesn't have to be the last one you input right there, okay? It also shows right here the win rate, which is not actually the win rate because it doesn't count the break-even trades. So the trades where you don't make a profit, but you don't make a loss. And it overcounts segmented trades. So let's say you split your trade into like 3 different targets, then and it hits all those 3 targets, then it counts it as 3 wins. But it can give you a little bit of a better estimate. Okay, it also shows you the gross profit, so it sums all the profit here, and the gross loss, so it sums all the losses. And it, by dividing this by this, it just shows you the profit factor. If it's below 1, obviously you've lost money because the profit is smaller than the loss, right? And yeah, this is a little bit of a nice statistic. And it also shows you how much of your capital is currently in use, the percentage currently in use, and the free capital currently. Okay. Now there's the trading calculations tab, which is, sorry, I clicked something by mistake. Okay. The trading calculation part, you shouldn't mess with it. Okay. Just don't use it, because it's basically made so that no matter what the order of your trades on this sheet right here, so you can do it in chronological order, you can do it not in chronological order. So for example, here, the first target hit is on the 21st of October, and like the last target hit was the 18th of October, right? And let's say I put even a target on the future right here. It even works. And like the charts right here, the P&L and the equity curve, it all works like chronologically, even if you don't input the trades chronologically right here. Okay, this is like the main functionality of the spreadsheet. It's like relatively basic. There's a lot of more complex stuff, as I showed you in the holder spreadsheet, but this was like more of a what you'll need for this trading competition. I want to make like those more complex spreadsheets, especially because I have like a lot of fun making those, but it takes a little bit of time. Okay. Just a second, guys. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay. So now that we went over the basic spreadsheet, how to make a copy, how it works, what it's showing you, any questions about it, like anything that you don't exactly know how it works, or any questions you have regarding maybe how to use it or anything like that?
We'll just bug you in your DMs every day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problems with doing that, especially since it's on Google Sheets. You can just like share the link with me and I can solve any problems really quick. Okay. One problem that's very common and there's no like easy way to fix is that CoinMarketCap sometimes it tries to like disallow you from copying the prices from them, right? We're using like a bit of a hacky way. This was not me, this was Josh. I'm not smart enough to do this. So this, for what I understand, this command right here, it's like accessing the CoinMarketCap website, and it's just searching for the price inside the website and just grabbing that value and plotting it here. So CoinMarketCap doesn't like that because that makes it so you don't see their ads, right? And so sometimes they try to remove the prices. So you might see like NA right here. So no value is showing up. So what you do to fix that is really quick. You just copy, like Control-C or Command-C if you're on a Mac, then you delete, and then you paste. So Command-V, and then it's fixed. It's really, really easy, right? Yeah, so that's about it. Okay, so if there are like no more questions about this part right here and how to use it, I can start getting into like my decisions for my strategy for this competition, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm looking for opportunities. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Pete is gonna be really having some fun with this, but it's kind of weird sharing it with Pete because if he buys, then it's gonna drop. Okay, so for the 5 coins that I'm gonna hold during this competition, they are going to be Cake, Link, Uni, Aave, and Monero. Now, these, if this competition was longer, right? I wouldn't choose these, okay? I wouldn't choose these for a longer term portfolio because, well, especially Monero, I wouldn't hold it like for, let's say, 5 years or 10 years because in my opinion, you're like just subject to maybe if I don't at one time, like governments want to make like illegal to cryptocurrency exchanges to list Monero or something like that, then it's just going to dump you and you couldn't even sell, right? So I wouldn't hold it for like 5-10 years. Okay. And I would like do Bitcoin and Ethereum if it was longer term, but on the shorter term, since it's only till the end of the year, we have to think a little bit about the coins that are currently more undervalued and that have like more potential to grow. Now, I've divided it equally because there's like not one of these that I'm particularly fond of. I like them all in a similar manner, and I'm buying 1/3 a week. Now, again, 1/3 a week is a little bit more than I would do normally, but we have to consider two things. Now, first, the entire account is just $250, and you can just be buying like $2 a week or something like that, because like the exchanges wouldn't even allow it, right? So you have to buy at least a significant quantity a week for it to be allowed. Another thing is that I'm using like a max position size of 40% and max risk per trade or 4%. Again, this is a lot higher than I would use normally. And at some point, if all goes well, I will reduce this a little bit lower, because this is really high. Okay, 4% is a really high. The max I would usually recommend is 2%. But then, as you can see, the position sizes would be like $10, something like that. And like especially if you're trying to split the targets or something like that, it might not allow it. Okay, cool. Yeah, and as you can see, I've already made a little bit of a DCA round on the 22. Here in Brazil, we use like day, month, and then year. It only makes sense to me. I don't see why Americans use month, day, and year, but that's another discussion. Your spreadsheet is like all American format and everything, okay? And oh yeah, something that I forgot to mention. If your device, if your computer is in another language, when you copy the CoinMarketCap link, you might see that there's like slash, then like a couple letters, then currencies. You have to delete that and leave it like slash currencies. Okay, if you don't do that, then it might show it wrong. So for example, it might show it in Brazilian real or euro or something like that. Okay, that's very important. Okay, yeah, so these are some like explanation on my choices and why I made them. Again, don't risk that much. I don't think that's responsible to do long term. This is just because the account is really small and we don't have that much time. Okay. As you can see, again, no trade yet, so no data for the charts of equity curve and no data for the charts of profit and loss. But I've also like denoted a few rules right here. So initially I'll split it half and half on trading and holding. I won't use 40% on more than 40% on a single trade, more than 4% risk. I wouldn't do it. Whole distribution is equal between all those 5 coins, and all the holding buys I'll do once a week with 1/3 of the total capital. Also, another rule, again, this is a lot higher than I would do normally, but I'm risking a lot more. A loss of over 12% in 2 weeks or less. Like I'll take the rest of the 2 weeks, or if it's right at the end, I might take the next 2 weeks, just reevaluating, reviewing, seeing what went wrong, seeing if it's worth like lowering the risk or something like that. Now, normally I would do that with 5%, but then again, I'm risking a lot more. So if I did 5%, it's like 2 stop losses or something like that. And that's too little, okay? Okay, so how I'm looking for trading opportunities, and this is a bit of a fun part, okay? So on TradingView, if you go to TradingView, you have this little button right here, which is the crypto screener. So you can just put a bunch of filters right here. I'm just gonna clear the filters I had before. So clearing it all. And since I'm using KuCoin, I'm not using Binance because I want to keep things separate. Okay, I don't want to like mix it up with my current Binance account. So I'm using KuCoin. I'm just inputting right here KuCoin, and then it just searches for cryptos on KuCoin. Now, what I do essentially, I just use like the 30-day volume and the 10-day volume to look for coins. Now, I'm not saying that I'll buy every coin that's above these levels, but these are the coins that I'm looking at. Okay, so as you can see, there are 140 coins currently, and there's not even enough money to buy all those coins, right? Now, why I'm doing this is because, especially in KuCoin, there are like very illiquid coins. So coins that not as many people trade. And if you want to trade with those, your targets, like it might skip your targets or skip your stop losses, and that's never good. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing then, I'm just scrolling to the top of this list, and I'm just looking at it one by one. If I think it's a good opportunity, if I think it's not a good opportunity. And just the first thing I ever do is, for example, let's say I think like this Multiverse token is a good trade. I will use this long position tool on TradingView. It's right here, long position. And now just like click it. Now I can just use this to move my stop loss. So the first thing, as I always say, the first and more important thing is to place your stop loss first. Where would your stop loss be if you were trading, right? So let's say my stop loss is somewhere around here, right? Then I might start to think about the targets. Now, you might risk manage it the way you want, but if you're trading to like around 1 risk to reward or lower, then your accuracy has to be really, really high, right? Now, when you start going up, you don't have to be as accurate, and it's like more rewarding, I think. So I'll usually go to, let's say, 1.5 or more. So I'll ask myself, well, is it feasible that the price reaches this level before it reaches this level? And then I decide if it's worth or not, and then I'm going to the spreadsheet. Now, another thing that I'm doing is, let's say I think this is worth it, right? So this is AI USDT, and the stop loss is 0.01915. So I'm gonna go right here on trades and data, AI. So the entry price is 0.2359, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, this is the holding part. Let me go to the trading part. Okay. AI USDT, 0.02359. And the stop loss is 0.01915. 0.01915. Now again, I can just use the position size calculator. And for this one, the calculated size is $26.57. So I just put it here, and it calculates the rest for me. And then let's say the target is 0.3030. So 0.03030. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do, and what I've been doing with the ideas, like none of them got triggered yet, but I think they might, especially since now Bitcoin has been a little bit like weak, but we'll see. And this is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I just go here, you click this little like camera icon right here, and there's copy link to the chart image. So I just copy the link, wait for it to copy. And then I just write it like, why am I taking this trade? So here I'm gonna say, like, for example trade for the crypto garden class. And then I paste the link. Then whenever I want to see why I took this trade, then I can just click this link, and it redirects me exactly to the chart and I can see like exactly why I took it, if there was anything wrong. And this kind of solves a little bit of the problem of just looking at the current chart and trying to think why you did wrong when you have like new data, right? This solves it because it shows you only the data that you had available at the time. Okay, so yeah, this is about what I wanted to go over. I can go a little bit about the coins I'm looking at currently, to see if there are any opportunities in the future, if you want to, or we can just go a little bit more over how to use the spreadsheets and maybe even tease a little bit more about the holder spreadsheet, whatever you want. Any questions whatsoever? Okay. If there's no questions, then I think I can go a little bit over the holder spreadsheet. And there are like a lot more things that I want to add to it. So currently, what it's doing right here on the dashboard part, it's telling you first how much money have you made in each coin, right? How much money have you made in each coin currently? Now this, as far as I remember, yeah, I don't think, yeah, it does show you how much you've made in total, including unrealized profit. I'd have to check on it later, but it shows you how much money have you made in each coin, how much percent have you made, and it also shows you, like, let's say your ideal percentage allocation for each coin was a little bit different, then it shows you how much is the difference from the ideal. So if my, oh, okay, P&L is like profit and loss, right? So current P&L, let's say it's, if it's positive, it's profit, and if it's negative, it's loss. Okay, so this is the current P&L for example, the link position. This is all like example, I've just filled it, so it could be a better example. And yeah, so link, for example, $1 under, and algo is $5 over. Okay, so now here I've set it up right here, this distribution right here. So Bitcoin 30%, ETH 18%, ADA 10%, and so on, right? And here it calculates how much more is it from the ideal in case you want to rebalance. So let's say like Bitcoin went up a lot, so you want to sell some Bitcoin and maybe buy the other coins that like maybe went down a little bit. So this makes it easier for you. So here it shows you the difference from the ideal, and here it shows how many dollars it is from the ideal and how much coins you need to sell or buy for it to be ideal. So if it's green, it is above on this case. So you'll need to sell like 0.0006 Bitcoin for it to be the ideal. And you need to buy like 3 ADA for it to be ideal. Okay. And yeah, this is the other spreadsheet. And I hope y'all have like a very nice competition. I worked really hard on the spreadsheet. It's like even garden themed, as you can see, it's all like green. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty nice. And even if you decide not to take part in the competition, I think it can be a very nice resource if you want to just use it to track, since it has like live prices and it doesn't depend on, for example, APIs or something like that, because those things can be a little bit annoying to set up. Okay. Okay, so I think we can end it right here. So
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tchello. That was awesome.
That was
Yeah.
really good. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tchello.
thanks a lot.
I'm excited to look at this.
Thank you.
yeah,
It was,
I'm not sure what Brad asked right here.
I wasn't asking, I was just saying what I was thinking I was saying. Everything's
okay.
based on percentages, and it's Google spreadsheets and
Yeah, like there are a lot of things based on percentages, but there's also a lot of things showing you wherever possible. It's showing you like how much actual money you made on the trade, right?
yeah, I
So-
mean the actual content. It's not based on investments. It's based on percentages of loss and wins or gains. I mean, that's
Well,
what
since
the
everybody
contest
starts
is
with the
about.
same amount, it wouldn't matter, would it?
No, I mean, if
Oh,
you
okay.
can,
Well,
you
I didn't
can
know we
include
started with
like
the same amount.
you can like make a higher. So for example, let's say the starting capital, let me just, it's not letting me add. Oh yeah, I'm not in the editable spreadsheet. Okay, so let's say I'm not in a trading competition and I want to start with, let's say, $1,000. Okay, I just added this single cell right here and it updates the entire spreadsheet for me.
Wow.
So 1,000. So it starts with that $700 in the hold capital. And as you can see on the trading curve and everything like that, it's already updated. And the holding part, it's already updated. Everything is just working flawlessly. Okay. If there are any bugs in it, I can try to fix them. And if I like add anything new, it's not going to be something that you have to delete your old spreadsheet. It's going to be something that you just copy and paste into your spreadsheet. Okay.
Great.
Cool. I'm very excited for everyone to start getting into this and having some fun.